Holy crap, boys. We're so back. The Boiler Express podcast is back. These guys got families. I don't have kids. These guys do. And sometimes that's more important than a
They've got
podcast
families, damn it.
where we make zero monies off of it. We do it for fun. Anyway, the Boiler Express podcast is back. The official Purdue podcast of the College Huddle. Ladies and gentlemen, we're here to talk Purdue football. We're here to talk Zach Edey. He's a Grizzly in Memphis in Tennessee, a state that is known to love Boilermakers. And we have the man, the myth, the legend, Kent from Casual Big Ten. Kent, how we doing?
What up? What up, man? Thank you guys so much for having me, man. It's gonna be fun tonight. I'm very excited to be on the show. Thank you so much. I actually live in Tennessee, so me and Zach are residing in the same state now. We're gonna be like neighbors.
Yeah, I was gonna say he'll probably buy the
Probably
mansion
look
next to your
outside and see him.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
He's gonna be in the palatial estate of Kent Casual Big Ten. Rusty Hot Takes, how we doing?
We're doing good. So does that mean you're finally going to teach your son who Purdue is, Kent? Like last time I checked, he had no idea. So
what's funny though is my kids actually do know who Zach Edey is though, because I was watching the draft.
KFC. Sorry.
Yeah, well, the KFC thing, yeah. But I was watching the draft and like some of his videos came up, and my oldest, like, she remembered from the very first game this year because of the tip-off. Do you guys remember, like, I forget who they were playing. It was the team from Alabama, and they made like a really big deal about the tip-off, and they made the short kid like go
like
against Zach
5'6" or whatever.
Oh,
yeah. So my daughter like remembered that from the beginning of the year, and she was like, "That's the tall guy from Purdue." She actually remembered that. So my oldest is all over Zach Edey. She remembers him.
There you go. Yeah, that was Sanford. I actually been on their campus. Shout out Sanford. They got a really nice campus in Alabama, down there in the Birmingham area.
They ended up actually having a pretty good basketball season too, didn't they? They were like one of the like pretty good like sleepers coming into the tournament.
Yeah.
Speaking of sleepers, Chris 50 Ghost in the house. How we doing, pal?
Just hanging out, man. Doing my thing.
A little sleepy today, but he's still here. He's treading along. The man's got twins, and those twins don't want to sleep. But
yeah,
Chris is still podding. He's a man of the pod, man of the company. Look at him. Damon, it's good to see your handsome mug again, dude.
Dude, it's been too long. I think the last one I was on was the post national championship one.
Tough.
Because remember, guys, Purdue played in a national championship this year in basketball.
Lest we forget.
They did.
That was a pretty big day. That was a fun time.
That is a runner-up shirt I will gladly boast and wear.
Getting your runner-up
all the time, everywhere.
I'm a happy runner-up.
Hang a banner for it, by God.
They probably will. They will, right? They'll have a Final Four banner in Mac.
Yeah, for a national runner.
They have a Final Four banner, no doubt.
Yeah, you got to have that.
They've talked about doing for that one and for the I think it was the 69. Doing a runner-up.
Nice.
Tag on the bottom of it. Yeah, nice.
That's the year you graduated, yeah?
Are you kidding me? I was like, probably that's my 20-year reunion, I think.
I said 18. I meant 1869. Sorry. The year Purdue was founded, by the way.
Yeah,
he getting deep in here already.
Russ and John Purdue were really good friends back in the day.
Yeah, and George Ross, the guy that helped fund Ross Aid, yeah.
And Aid. There was Ross and Aid, and that's how you become Ross Aid Stadium.
Which, I don't know if you guys noticed it, Dylan, that episode with the OHIO guys, when they did our Purdue preview, when he spelled Ross Aid Stadium, he definitely spelled it AID instead of ADE. I was like,
that's tough.
It's not first aid. Come on.
That's tough.
Come on. So
that's shout out to Eric and the OHIO pod. We just Eric and I did an episode with the OHIO pod. It's out now on their YouTubes and wherever else they do things. I think we did pretty good. I actually did research for it. And I did research for today's episode. The first time in my history of podcasting of not just being like boilered by a billion. I actually did some homework. So
Dylan, you can't lie. Like, this is like the third podcast in a row I've done with you now where you said you took notes. So don't be trying to.
I texted you guys in the group chat that I took my iPad on the ground.
Yeah, there was like 3 lines on that notepad for sure.
Yeah, 3 lines is a big deal for me. Okay. By the way,
before we get into the football or talking about Zach Edey, Cody here asked if anybody's got any big plans for America's birthday coming up on Thursday. What are you guys doing?
Hold on, I about ended the stream.
First of all, it's Independence Day. I love calling it Independence Day, Independence Week, not just 4th of July, because it's not just a date on the calendar. It's celebrating our independence, boys. Like
America,
we're the best and last hope of this world. right? The freest country. Where else would you go right now if this country does? I know it's everybody saying doom and gloom, but like, where else would you go right now than the USA? So, Independence Day. I'm going to be taking my daughter. There's an ice cream place here in Louisville.
Whoa.
Giving a free ice cream cone to kids under the age of 12 if they recite the Pledge of Allegiance. So we're going to be checking that out because that's just extra patriotic.
That's awesome.
Oh, no, I can't find. Oh, nope. There they are.
Yeah, I think I'm just going to go swimming. I think we're just going to do like the basic cookout, swimming, barbecue, all that good stuff.
Can't go wrong.
Yeah, I think I'm going to my. Who am I going? Oh, my cousin Shelby's house. Shout out to Shelby. What's good? She just got married, by the way. Congratulations to my cousin Shelby and her now husband Tyler. Tyler's so daggone handsome. Shelby's all right, you know.
Fans of the podcast, right?
Friends of the they watch every episode, every minute. They really do. Tyler's a Florida fan. Don't ask me why. I don't know, but it's tough. Yeah, poor guy needs to know.
Hate to see it.
How to pick sports teams. Anyway, but congrats to my cousin and her now husband Tyler for married. They had a great wedding, had a few brewskis, and I don't drink a whole lot, but it's a big deal when old DK over here puts back some brewskis. So, but yeah, I'll be at her house for the 4th. They bought like $1,000 worth of fireworks. Ye doggy, it's gonna get a little wild. May come back with losing a couple fingies. You never know.
Looking like Jason Pierre-Paul.
Yeah, I'm just gonna have a club. I'm just gonna have one big club.
I drink every day, by the way, and I'm drinking. I'm drinking right now. I'm drinking. And for the 4th, I'm going to go down to Nissan Stadium. They put on a heck of a show.
Hey, Purdue's been
downtown Nashville. I do that every year. My neighbor takes his camper down there, so we like park it for 4 or 5 hours, play some cornhole. And
no way. What did you call it? I was on the huddle with you. You called it bags.
Yeah.
And I said, I'm sorry, you're a communist.
So wrong.
Cornhole.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That's why I called it cornhole. See, I'm showing respect to the pod.
And by the way, Eastern time is American time and not your central nonsense, you and Damon.
Yeah.
Central time is for communist.
My part of Indiana is so weird because it's literally just like this small pocket of Indiana that's central time, and then everywhere else is Eastern. It's really weird.
You guys in the region.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Central time is so much better. It's not a debate. It's really not.
I guess Central time has like Chicago and Nashville. Eastern time has Atlanta, New York City, Indianapolis, Boston.
Okay,
all of Florida. Like no Central time.
No, I agree with the cities. I guess are better in the Eastern time zone. That's fine. But my point is, I love watching sports, which we're going to talk about sports on this show eventually. But
really,
I like watching sports an hour. What would it be? Earlier than everybody else on the Eastern time zone. Like when Monday Night Football kicks off, like it's not that late for me to go to bed after it's over. Like,
yeah. But then sometimes
I know it's only 1 hour, but it makes a big difference.
When I was in San Diego, I had to worry about getting off work on time to watch Monday Night Football because it's starting at like 5:30 then. But it was cool to wake up at 9 o'clock and the Purdue game starting on Saturday.
Yeah. So college football is great. Kicks off at 11. NFL kicks off at 12. It's just much better across the board.
Yeah, the nursing home does wake up Russ fairly early, so it is probably
got to get those meds in to start the day.
Mr. Russ, wake up! Well, are the Oakland Raiders playing?
Well, on that note, anyways, let's go ahead and move on to some sports. How about
what about some sports entertainment?
This is a sports program, isn't it?
So if you guys aren't familiar with Kent, casual Big Ten out there, he's a basketball specialist. I know he dabbles in all things sports. He's a very big sports guy. We were getting into some Madden and some college football stuff this summer, but big basketball guy. So we're going to start off with some Purdue basketball stuff. And the NBA draft did happen this last week. Our big man, Zach Edey, became the second guy from his recruiting class to be drafted in the top 10. Going to the Memphis Grizzlies. They're in the same state where Kent resides. So I'll let Kent lead that off. Like, what are your thoughts on the big man going there? What do you think his shots are at having a decent career? What do you think his role is going to be in the NBA? What do you think?
Well, everything that I read before the draft was really amping me up more than I was already for Zach Edey. I originally thought he was going to be like 15 to 20. Like that's where he'd get picked at, like somewhere in that range. So when I was watching the draft live and he got picked top 10, first of all, I was jacked because people have been talking so much crap about him. And to be able to just kind of rub that in everyone's face, like, look, he's top 10 pick now. You guys don't know ball like better than NBA scouts do. So it felt really good to have him go in the top 10 just as a Big Ten supporter. and a Zach Edey supporter, which I have been all year, by the way. But yeah, I think he's going to be great. Like all the videos I saw from the workouts that he did, he was shooting the ball more, and he didn't have to do that at Purdue, obviously. So he didn't ever have to like step outside and really shoot it. But I saw him shooting and making a lot of shots. And then I read one article about it was basically interviewing a scout about how important he will be like in a pick and roll just because of the sheer size of him setting screens for guys like Ja Morant now. So I think he's going to be great in Memphis. I think he's going to be I tweeted out that he would be top 3 rookie of the year voting. I don't know if that's going out on a limb, but I think that he will be next year. And it's going to be because he has opportunities, and I think he's going to open up some eyes next year in Memphis. Obviously, with him, they needed a center, so he's going to play next year, and he'll have the opportunity to show like what he can do. They said he's
probably going to start.
What's that?
I was listening to the telecast that night, and they said he's probably going to start.
Yeah.
And he went from plus 2,500 to the favorite to win MVP at like plus 900 or something. After
rookie of the year.
Or rookie of the year. Yeah,
he's the favorite now.
If he's not the favorite, he's dang close. Yeah.
Wow.
I didn't know that. I'll fact check myself real quick.
The big maple.
I just love, like, I mean, you watched him and how well him and Braden played together and just fed off of each other. I can't wait to see that with Ja Morant. Like, that's, to me, is just going to be insane. So this is probably the first year, because, like, anytime a Purdue guy gets drafted, I'll watch, I'll be like, oh, yeah, I'll watch the Summer League a little bit. But this is probably the first year I'll, like, really intently watch Summer League to see how he does, and everything's going to be really exciting.
Big
Grizzlies. The Pacers got 2 Boilers on their summer team, so you got Dakota Mathias and Lance Jones on the Pacers summer league
Midwestern Cowboy.
That's right.
Yeah, and I think what was it? Kent, you shared something about the is it the Timberwolves that are becoming like basically the Big Ten All-Stars now? Or
yeah,
something?
So the Timberwolves, obviously they drafted Terrence Shannon Jr. and they re-signed Luka Garza. So it was a little bit tongue in cheek because he never plays, but they obviously still. I believe I tweeted it out, but I don't know if he's going to re-sign there or. I never know with NBA contracts, but Mike Conley from Ohio State is also still there. So they got 3 guys on the roster at least right now that were Big Ten guys. But I want to say one more thing about Edey too. I just feel like when the way the NBA is set up right now, it has been going away from guys like Edey, and I feel like that's the perfect time to bring somebody like him in because it's a perfect like zig when everyone is zagging type situation. Like everyone's talking about who's he going to guard? Like, can he guard guards? Who's going to guard him?
Yeah.
Like, who can guard him? And
what's the big, gigantic guy that plays for, I think, the Clippers?
Yeah, Valanciunas. I think he just signed somewhere else, though.
No, Boban or something.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to say. Like, there's plenty of guys still in there, and I wish Frank was here because Frank's the biggest NBA guy amongst ourselves. And he's been a proponent of Zach Edey being a success in the NBA. And also, do yourselves a favor and watch the Memphis GM explain the draft pick because he kind of got attacked because, being in Tennessee, a lot of people wanted them to take Dalton Connect and were very angry that they took Zach Edey, and he basically just kind of basketball mansplained the crap out of like, this is why we drafted the guy and we think he's going to be great. But
and honestly, I don't think Dalton Connect fits in their system. I just don't think he has room where center was a need.
Yeah, but if we're talking about modern big guys, Jokic is a 2-time, 3-time MVP? And do you think he or Edey wins in a foot race? Like, he's not exactly this agile, fast, mobile guy. And, like you said, Kent, in the drills at the combine, he was beating guards and wings in the 3-point shooting drill, which I get it, it's against air, but he's doing better against guys that actually did that in the NBA or in college. And he was not asked to do that. And that was what the Memphis GM was saying was like, look, the guy can do things that he just wasn't asked to do at Purdue. Like, people are saying he's not a great defender or whatever, and it's like, well, they didn't want him to foul out. Like, we needed him to stay in games, so he wasn't playing as aggressively. What happened in that Tennessee game when he had to play aggressively at the end? Anybody remember? Oh, it's that famous Dalton Connect stuff, right? To seal the game. So yeah, he can. I think he's going to surprise people. I don't know about making the All-Star game. Cody Abrams said, I
was going to bring that up. Rookies don't make the All-Star team. They have
it's
like
that Rising Stars
game. Yeah, like rookie sophomore, right?
I honestly might get NBA League Pass or whatever just so I can watch the Memphis game.
And Another thing I think is really cool too. I think I saw this in like an article or something from an interview with Zach Edey. Apparently, the Grizzlies have been pretty high on him for a while. Like they started talking to him like his sophomore year.
Yeah.
About being interested in him, playing for them at one point in the future. So it's pretty cool to see how just high the whole team is on him. And yeah, I'm stoked. I think he's gonna have a really good career. But we'll see.
Yep.
I think what's interesting too is that, and maybe I'm just showing really my like Big Ten homer bias right now, but the fact that Donovan Clingan got drafted ahead of him, and everybody was just like, okay, like I'm okay with it. It's fine. I think he's a good player. He is a good player. And, UConn obviously won that game. And I think that because UConn won that game, it was like a de facto, okay, Clingan is better than
Edey
Zach
ate that
That's
dude
not
lunch.
the case, dude. Zach Edey he had
Wait,
37 points in that game against him.
Right.
Uh-huh.
Like, you kidding
Let
me
him
right
know.
now? I don't know. I thought that was a little, to me, it's kind of crazy, but I didn't watch Donovan the whole season like I did Zach. So I can't sit here and say that, without a shadow of a doubt, Zach's better than him.
Yeah.
But it felt like to me that he was. And I was just surprised that it was just like almost a foregone conclusion that Donovan was getting drafted before him and that he did. It was just, to me, that was a little bit odd. But again, that's me being a Big Ten homer and a Zach Edey fan for the year. So maybe I'm off on that.
Do you guys think that UConn will three-peat?
I hope
No.
not.
No
No.
way.
You don't think so?
No way.
Maybe. I
No
think
way.
There's a chance, but I don't know.
You can't keep doing the Illinois plan and reshuffle the deck every single year and think it's going to work every year. Like it's
He's 2 for 2.
I take the field every time. I'll take the field.
Yeah.
The funny thing about UConn too, though, I'm only talking about centers tonight, but they just got Terrace Reed from Michigan, and I said this the whole year, and it's going to sound crazy because I know Purdue blew Michigan out. Terrace Reed did a pretty good job against Zach, and that's saying, I know Zach still had a decent game, but if you go back and actually watch that game, I thought Terrace did a good job guarding him, better than anybody else in the Big Ten did, and that's not hyperbole. I really think he did. So they really did replace Donovan with, I think, possibly a better defensive center, and he's not going to give him more offensively. Terrace isn't, but I think that they refilled that spot pretty well. I think Terrace.
I'd hate to say this with Eric watching in the comments, but I think Zed Key actually was probably the best defender against Edey this year. I feel like he just had he had that down. The slapping the ball away from Edey that game, like he just had it down, and he had Edey's number. But yeah, Terrace Reed was solid against him. But
who did you say was better?
Zed Key.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because he had several steals against Edey, against the game against Ohio State when they knocked us off, when it was Diebler's first game. But has everybody got their basketball fix out now? We appeased.
I kind of forgot Michigan had a basketball program.
Can we start talking about how the WWE is going to have the Royal Rumble in Indy this year?
All right, let's talk football.
So Oregon State. Oregon State.
So time for real sports.
Yeah. So we're kind of going through the team.
Listen, hold up. We do too many WWE. Guy, was that good? Was it bad? I don't know. WWE. And normally my accent comes out. So WW. We do too many WWE references to be hating on the WWE.
That's true.
That's right. What?
Anyways, go ahead, Russ.
But yeah, so we're trying to work through the football season as it approaches and as the EA College Football game approaches. But we've gone through the first two. We went through Indiana State a little bit, really just talked about Notre Dame, which is our first two games. But our third game of the year is against Oregon State in Corvallis. Not a common opponent. Only the third time we've played them. We split the first two matchups. Oregon State had a solid year last year. They were 8-5, 5-4 in conference. They lost. This is one of my favorite things to do when we do season previews is talk about the bowl games. They lost the Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl, 40-8 to Notre Dame. So not a great performance, but their coach was on the way out. They had a lot of players opt out.
Great.
Jonathan Smith, of course, is going to play us this year or coaching us this year with Michigan State.
Glad
as he left Oregon State for there.
Thank you, Kent.
But yeah, they let's see. You made me lose my train of thought here, Dylan. Appreciate you.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm here for.
But But yeah, he had a 34-35 record at Oregon State, so I'm not too worried about him going to Michigan State this year. Where that'll be a later game we'll talk about then. But he did have 3 straight winning seasons. So the Oregon State Beavers are kind of on an uptrend, but they're obviously facing the whole Pac-2 thing this year. So who knows what they're going to be looking at there? They had a ton of transfers out. Trent Bray is their head coach now. He was their defensive coordinator last year. He did spend a short stint at Nebraska as a linebacker coach. So, if you are really in-depth Purdue fan and you study the coaching staff, you might recognize him from that. But he left after Mike Riley got fired from Nebraska, and they hired Scott Frost. But they were 45th in scoring defense. So I kind of looked at their defense since he was their defense coordinator. They were 45th in scoring defense, so pretty average as far as power conference teams go. For reference, Purdue was 98th, so we weren't great on defense, but it's not like they were a ton better a lockdown defense. They only bring in the 87th ranked freshman class compared to Purdue being 27th. Their transfer class is 51st compared to us being 30th. So, I'm not too worried about this game. But my question for this game for you guys, and you guys can talk about what you're thinking as well. But what percentage chance do you put on us winning this game? Because I know it's at Oregon State. We're traveling across the country. Obviously people have their feelings about how last year went, and a lot of people are saying we're only going to win 4 games again this year. But I'm actually feeling pretty confident about this game, but I don't know what you guys are thinking.
I think that it's gonna be fun. It's just gonna be interesting to see how they do, because they lost so many pieces from a really good 2023 team, especially Ukulele, whatever.
Ukulele?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the quarterback that transferred to Florida State.
Yeah.
Well, from Clemson to Oregon State and now back to the ACC.
Yeah.
I've always liked him as a quarterback, so I think he's going to do good at Florida State. But he really made that offense hum, and now they've got 2 transfers in, one from Idaho and one from Missouri, I believe. But still, you're making up 2,600 yards and 21 scores. So it's just weird losing so much, but they brought in decent depth too. So I think it's a 50-50 game. Honestly, I think both teams are kind of in the same boat. And I know that they were ranked up to like 12th or something last season. But I mean that the fact that new coach replaced a bunch of starters on both sides of the ball, where Purdue has a bunch of starters back, and second-year head coach. I think it'll be a close game, but a good one.
Yeah, honestly, it's hard to say, which I know is kind of a cop-out answer, but I feel like it's hard to say because I just want to see what our passing game is going to be like this year. Just with so many basically a whole new receiving core. I know there's going to be some familiar faces there like Jaden Dixon-Veal. I'm sure some other guys that I'm just not thinking of right now with and Claire back as a tight end. So
I can't wait to see that kid from Florida Atlantic or Florida International.
Trying to think of who that is.
One who tore his ACL.
Edrin.
Yes.
Yep.
Boys, look who's in the house. It's Nick. What up, Nick?
That man.
Kent, what do you know about Oregon State football? What do you think?
I don't know anything about them at all. I haven't studied them at all. Here's what I do know, though. Oregon State is playing Oregon the week prior, so that's not good. And Purdue is also playing Notre Dame the week prior, so I also feel like that's not good. So they're both – I actually think both teams are – I don't know what you guys said about Notre Dame, but I think both teams are going to be coming off I'm not going to say a significant, but I'll just say they're both going to be coming off a L. So they're both going to be looking for a win. And the game's going to be on CW Network. That's interesting.
Hell yeah.
That's
well, when
really
you have 2 teams in your conference, you don't really pull,
the
anything
CW.
interesting.
So those are the things that I know. I'm going to put the chances at Purdue winning at 60%. I think they have a better than whatever I'm trying to say, better than 50% chance to win. And I would pick, if I had to pick, I would pick this game as Purdue winning. Yeah, I know. I'm trying to do. I don't know what I'm trying to say. 60%. Everybody knows what 60% means.
We know what math Dylan will do.
69%. What do we?
That's what. Dang it! I should have said that.
Oh, and that's why I'm the personality hire. Okay.
I thought you were going to go Boilers by a billion, but you mixed it up there.
I mean, that's always I'm trying to mature a little bit. No, I'm just kidding. No, it's always Boilers by a billion. I watched a little bit of their spring game earlier today. It was a Giovanni McCoy Seemed like he's a little like Hudson Card, a little quick on his feet, can make a few men miss. Defense looked pretty good. There's some big hitters. I saw some pretty solid hits out. Gosh, I turned into a Canadian for a second. Saw some pretty big hits out there. Let me
Don't
talk
you know?
American. I know. So I don't know. I'd say same 50-50. I'd like to think a little bit more for Purdue, depending on like Damon said, the wide receiver core and if Maccabee can, hold the football and,
Yeah.
there's a lot of different variants, and it's so early in the season. I mean, we'll learn a lot, I think, when we see Notre Dame. I think we all agree Indiana State will be a win. No offense to the Sycamores. Shout out Larry Bird. But
I mean, hell, we won't know more. We'll know more just out of camp.
Yeah.
Right. Don't you mean shout out Robbie Avila? Well,
Kareem. I'm sorry. You mean Kareem Abdul-Jabbar? That's who that is. I was hoping. I know we don't need him, obviously, and they really want to fit for him. But I would have loved to see him in a Purdue uniform just for the hell of it.
Yeah. So I just think I'm closer to what Kent said. I think it's north of 60, maybe even 65. The more I think about this game and kind of what Oregon State is coming into the season with, like we talked about, they got kind of gutted. And then, like I said, I compared the classes. Their freshman class is, almost 90th as opposed to ours being a top 30 class. Their transfer class is 51st opposed to ours being a top 30 class. So they're also bringing a new coaching staff. And I just think that bodes to our favor very well. Right. I think that, it's Walt's second year. And if we are coming off a loss to Notre Dame, they're going to be hungry. And if we come off Notre Dame 2-0, there's no way we go out there and lose this game. So I think that we have a really good chance. Their offensive coordinator, I want to mention that real quick. Ryan Gunderson, he was the UCLA QB coach for the past 3 seasons. He used to be an Oregon State quarterback. That's kind of why they brought him back as an OC, kind of a child of the program, right? But UCLA scored 10 or less points in 4 games last year. So, and with all the turnover and the new personnel they're going to have, I don't think they're going to get off to a roaring start. And so I expect us to win this game. So I would put it right about 65, maybe even close to 70% on that one.
Or
69.
There it
69.
is.
Let's go.
So do you think that this year Walters gets like his signature win as a head coach of Purdue? Like how Brahms was probably, I don't remember if it was his first signature win, but like the Ohio State game. Do you think that Notre Dame could potentially be his like signature win because it's at Purdue?
It could. He's definitely got a couple great opportunities between Notre Dame and Oregon being a Friday night home game as well. I think we could pull off either one of those. And I'm part of the crowd that I think Cody Abrams said on here 9-3. That's definitely towards the top end of our ceiling. But I think we get a bowl game, and I think we surprise people this year. This is, like I said, this is one of the games I expect us to win. The next one I think is one that I expect us to win. And
hell yeah,
Vinny. Talk about starting 3-1.
Let's go, Vinny. I love the energy. Vinny in the house.
And that's what I listen to.
Walters
Always Irish, our buddy over there,
Vinny.
Mr. Kennedy, and he even said Notre Dame is nervous about Purdue. We play them close in the past. We played them close even on years that they're kind of like Ohio State, right? They're on a run to national championship or run to the college football playoff, and then they have to come to Ross-Ade. We play them tough. It's a rivalry game, and I think that we have a good shot at beating them. I think that could be very well his signature win. So
also, Vinny, while you're here, get your ass on the podcast. Jesus.
Let's go. Send him the link, Dylan.
Pull up Nick's
old Vinny won't know how to work the link. What do we? He tweeted me the other day. He goes, one of my favorite upsets was 96 Michigan or 97, and I was like, I was born in 96, and he was like, thanks.
Yeah. That was one of the first games I remember going to, was that Michigan State game where we people left early, and I remember our dad saying, we don't leave early, we stay.
That's what my dad did the same thing.
Ended up storming the field. So
dude, my grandpa was like, he didn't care what the score was or what the impact of the game was. He was like, third quarter, after that third quarter, we're leaving. He's like, that's a 3-hour drive back home. We got to get out of there. We got to beat traffic.
He said, shout, we're out.
The shout and we're out. Oh, I like that.
So I like Nick's comment here talking about offensive coordinator Graham Harrell. I think that last year he was limited in what he could do because Hudson was still learning the offense. And that's where I felt like in the spring game, it looked like there was more trust between the two. And I could be totally wrong, but it looked like
it's so hard to judge.
I know, but yeah, and that's how it is from years past. But like just seeing Hudson's confidence in the pocket was leaps and bounds. And Kent, I think I was actually on with you and Eric maybe when we were talking post spring game, and he just looked a complete different. He just looked completely different than he did it all in the 2023 season. He just looked like he trusted himself, trusted the offense, trusted guys to be in positions they need to be in, and I think
his offensive line too has gotten a hell of a lot beefier.
Yeah.
Well, here's why I think what you said there is scary, Chris. Our offense was actually pretty good last year.
I'm not saying that wasn't good.
I know I'm not saying you are, but I'm just saying, like, when you consider the fact that our offense was actually a top half of the conference offense in Big Ten last year. Hudson Card was what, third in passing yards a game.
Yeah.
You love Hudson Card.
Mockabee and Tracy were both top 10 in yards per carry.
But my thing is do sacks. We had like one game we had like 7 sacks because Hudson tried to hold the ball too long instead of trusting his legs to run the alleys. And
someone answer the Ring doorbell. Jeez.
Yeah. It was far from perfect, but I think that, other than the Virginia Tech game where our defense locked them down, the other 3 wins we had were all because of our offense.
Oh, Russ.
Uh-oh.
What a way to freeze.
Yeah. Nursing home shut off the internet.
Betty down the hallway bumped the
router.
Damn it, Gerald.
I was all the way at the end of my statement that I heard you guys say that. I'm like, son. Anyway, so Nebraska. You guys want to talk about Nebraska?
Not really.
Yeah, not really. This is my thing. Nebraska is the Notre Dame of the Big Ten.
Oh.
No, listen, because every year it's, we're going to be awesome. We're going to win a national title. We're going to do great. Blah, 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 blah. And then
the difference is Notre Dame actually has winning seasons, and Notre Dame actually wins bowl games still. Nebraska hasn't had a winning season. Anybody want to guess last year they had a winning season?
The year before they entered
before they joined the Big Ten, right?
No, because they've been to the Big Ten title game.
Yeah.
I was going to say 2015?
2016. That was their last winning season, 2016.
Yeah. So they are the IU basketball of the Big Ten football.
Ooh, I like that.
Yes, that's what it is. Yeah, that's a better comparison.
I think that was I think that was IU basketball's like not winning season, but like last time they won like a tournament game.
Yeah.
And I'll be super honest, like the fans for Nebraska are super nice. Don't get me wrong, but like, man, it is just like hanging on to the. Nice.
Vinny says the Miami Hurricanes down here are the off-season champions for the last 24 years.
It doesn't surprise me. But like, that's my thing. It's just like, it's rinse, wash, and repeat every offseason. They are not getting 9 wins.
Nick, I don't know what you're drinking, but
I actually kind of agree with Nick more than you right now, Chris. I hate to be that guy on the pod that's going to go against you guys, but yeah, that's fine. I think that Nebraska is going to be good this year, and I do this with a lot of teams every year, so I could be wrong about this, but I watched almost every single game last year. Nebraska, and I know almost wins don't count, but they were within a touchdown in almost every single loss that they were in. They lost to Iowa by 3. They lost to Michigan State by 3. They lost to you guys, or I'm sorry, they beat you guys last year. I'm looking at the rest of it.
Oh wow!
I mean, they only had it like their wins were big wins. Wisconsin, they lost by a touchdown.
Read their wins. If you look at their schedule,
they were big wins, and their losses were within a touchdown. So,
do me a favor though. Read their wins. Are you looking at their schedule?
Yeah.
Read their wins.
All right, let me make sure because it gives me from. I'm on Google.
It's like Northern Illinois. Like
starting August 30. Okay, yeah. Okay, so
yes, they beat us.
The first game, once again, Minnesota game. They had that game in hand. I thought too at the beginning of the year. So their wins were Northern Illinois, Louisiana Tech. Let's see. Northwestern, actually pretty good win last year. Purdue, and
you're missing one.
That was it.
No, they had 5.
Iowa can't win by more.
I think I said 5, didn't I?
They said Minnesota,
Northern Illinois, Louisiana Tech,
and Purdue.
Illinois, Northwestern, and Purdue.
Yeah. So
Illinois, I think I forgot. My bad.
they literally tied with us, with Purdue, with Minnesota, with Illinois, and with
Yeah.
Rutgers in the Big Ten, 3-6 in the Big Ten. They just had a couple weak non-conference games. That was the difference between their schedule and ours.
Yeah, if you
But
look
I
at
also
their
think they had the
24s,
worst quarterback situation last year. Like they had more turnovers from that position than any of those teams that you just listed. Like they could not hang on to the ball. So if they can get anything from that position at all, if they had Hudson Card, they would have been 3 games ahead of you guys.
so
Vinny's on fire tonight.
So, like, here's my thing. I could see, so looking at their schedule, I can see 9 wins. Just because they play UTEP, Colorado, Northern Iowa, Illinois, Rutgers, IU, Ohio State's an L,
Purdue.
Purdue, UCLA. I assumed Purdue was going to be obvious, but UCLA.
An obvious win for them?
No, obvious that they're on the schedule.
Okay.
UCLA, USC, Wisconsin, and Iowa. Like their first 9 games are 8 of the first 9 games are winnable.
It's a winnable game.
Yeah. I was saying I scoffed past our winnable game. I just
Markel Jones when you
even
need
with
him.
Purdue, like
Markel.
do you guys know the last 6 games how they've gone against Purdue for the Nebraska? They're 2-4 against Purdue in the last 6 games, and it's at Ross 8.
Vinny.
So I don't get the Nebraska hype. Like I said, their last winning season was 2016. Now a freshman quarterbacks.
That might be comment of the year so far.
Dude, Vinny out here just bodying Iowa.
Vinny, will you come on the damn podcast? Golly. Am I going to have to fly down to Florida and show you how to use this thing? Good Lord Almighty, I'll do it.
Oh man, I'll fly.
I'll
to
bring
Florida.
Stu with me too. Don't make me.
So anyway, I'm going to go.
I'll bring the whole game.
I'm going to start the percentage with Nebraska. Let's get us back on track here.
Yeah.
Never did. But I'm going to put us at 60% for Nebraska. I feel confident. We're at home. Like I said, we've won 4 of the last 6 against them. They were 1 game better than us, and that was basically the difference was our matchup with them. And so I just don't get the hype. I don't think that a freshman is going to come in and save their program and get them over the hump. I think that they're looking at
I will say
5-7, 6 year.
The only reason I could see them doing like as well as everyone's saying this year is because Matt Rule teams typically have a pretty stinky first year and then they come out swinging like the next year or 2 after that.
Except for with the Panthers in the NFL.
Right.
Yikes.
But even Nick Saban wasn't that great of an NFL coach.
Are you saying Matt Rule's going to be the next Nick Saban?
But also, the only program that he really was impressive to me was Nebraska, and he had really 1 good year at Nebraska. Temple, okay, he had a couple double-digit win seasons at Temple, but that's Temple. Like that's not a Power 5 school. Like we've seen plenty of teams come from, Conference USA, the Sun Belt, wherever, go to the Big Ten or go to the SEC and flop.
Didn't he have like some 9-win seasons with Baylor?
I think he had 1. I think he had 1 double-digit win season with Baylor. He might have had like a 7 or 8 win season as well.
No, I thought he did better, but I'll look.
No, so he went his last year at Baylor. He was 11-3. The year before that, he was 7-6.
Gotcha.
So, yeah.
Some quick research by you, Russ.
No, it's notes. I know you're learning about taking notes, but
yeah, no, I didn't. I honestly didn't take that many notes. I'm just gonna,
So what do y'all think? What's your percentage?
I'm pretty sure you put down your iPad after you sent that picture to us, and you're like,
also true. He had RG3.
Yeah. So Kent, what do you got us at like 10%? Is that what you're saying for Nebraska?
No, because like you said, because it's at home,
it's a few lines.
I would move it up from 10%. So I would say 30. I'm going to say 30% chance you guys win this game. I'm bigger on Nebraska than I am Purdue this year. I think that Nebraska is going to win this one.
Never having Kent on again. Good Lord.
He's not pushing our agenda.
First he fights Boiler Burner, and then he comes on here, and it's just
you had to bring it up. I think so. The only reason I'm going to say this, and I'm probably going to catch hate for this, is I'm probably like 45-50%.
Oh my God.
Listen, the reason why is because the week before we traveled back from Oregon State.
Okay.
I agree. Nick.
That's gonna be tough. Do I think that Purdue's the better team? Yes. Do I think that flight is gonna hurt? Yes. That's
Take
why.
a nap. Let's do a podcast. Watch a movie. People make a big deal about flights, and I don't know, man. It's like, how long is a flight from here to there?
don't know, like 4 hours.
Like 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah, but you're going 4 time zones and beating the hell out of each other for 3 hours, plus going to class, plus having practice.
We don't do school. We didn't come here to play school.
R.I.P. my man's.
Oh yeah, he is, isn't he?
We think
Dylan, you don't strike me as a guy that takes a lot of flights, though. Like
I fly often. What are you saying?
Do
I'm
you?
some sort of hillbilly out here in the boondocks in Ohio?
Man, when he gets on his,
seen a plane before.
he gets on his side by side out on the ranch, man. He's flying out that back pasture. What are you talking about?
What is that? God, jeez Louise.
Dylan's the guy that shoots at planes, going, "I own all the way to the sky." And this is my property.
No, he's the guy calling 911 because there's another UFO out there. He's like, "There's aliens."
There's a
What the
red
hell?
flashing bulb in the sky. It makes a real loud noise too. God.
Yes, sir. That's the helicopter we told you about 3 hours ago when you called the last time.
Nick says Dylan rides his horses and takes the Oregon Trail.
Damon, what do you think
Not
our
wrong.
chances are against Nebraska?
Yeah, like again, I'm just giving really crappy answers. Like I really, I just don't know. I want to say that it's going to be a Purdue win because they're at home, but I think you just got to see how this this quarterback that they're bringing in that everybody's so hyped on, see how he does, see how the team does in general. Yeah, I'm not giving very good answers tonight. I'm sorry.
But I will say this, that our defensive line could really give him a problematic day.
Vinny, I thought when you played, they like traveled by horseback or like maybe a bus. I don't know. I didn't know planes were around when you played. Love you, Vinny.
But yeah, like Kent said, their problem last year was taking care of the football, especially the quarterback position. And a freshman is going to come in and take care of the football his freshman year. Like I'm not sure. We get some pressure on him. We got Dylan Thieneman back there picking the ball off like every game. So
100 yards back, just waiting.
Dylan, what's your percentage? What do you think?
Boilers by a billion, baby.
Oh, now you don't want to see. Now you're back to not give a percentage. Look,
69.
rope-a-dope. All right. Any other notes on Nebraska? You guys want to talk about Wisconsin, or we're only at 42 minutes.
Ooh, we had our own airport back then. Wow, fancy.
Dang.
That's when
I kind of wish Dylan Raiola, or however you say his last name, was not their starter because is it Heinrich Harburg?
Heinrich
I
Heinrich.
loved him last year. I thought he was awesome. That dude ran the ball so hard. He was like a running back that could kind of throw it if he absolutely had to.
So he's
But
Braxton
he's
Miller.
gonna be the
Jared
backup.
Schrader up at Syracuse.
He's Braxton Miller.
What's that? Did he
Shout out.
transfer?
Schrader?
No.
Braxton Miller?
Harburg.
Oh,
He was
wow.
comparing him to Schrader from Syracuse.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
no, I was-
my
yeah.
bad. I missed that.
Yeah.
Sorry, Russ.
You're good.
Anyways, yeah, he's good though. I wish he was still playing. He had a good game against you guys last year too, by the way. But he was just
Probably
fun to
did.
watch.
Appreciate it.
You
Keep
say
bringing
you
it up.
guys like we played. If we played, we would have lost by 100.
Nah, you guys would have got a dub.
Oh, yeah.
You guys would have locked Heinrich up.
I would have been center. I've been trying to do my best Gus Hartwig impersonation.
Who are those 3 or 4 guys that Harburg's pulling into the end zone with him? Oh, that's the
Harburg.
BXP crew.
Yeah, we're just on his back. Like, come here. Like, I got you.
Come here, little buddy.
Out of shape 28-year-old. Vinny, help.
I think you're giving us a lot of what's the word? You're beefing us up or hyping us up a lot, thinking that we can actually get our arms around the dude and not just
I like
get
now
blown
with this
by.
mic stand, I can put it in a
Oh, no, it's going to be like our finger gets caught in his laces and dislocates our finger, and he just drags us.
and then
Don't
we
talk
cry
about
for half an hour.
dislocation.
The trainers have to take us off on a stretcher because we dislocated our finger.
This isn't soccer.
Oh, what a burn!
Shots fired.
The men's team did really blow it the other night. The ref was really bad. But
Dude, that's all I've seen is like how terrible the refs were.
did you guys watch that?
Refs were
Probably not.
terrible last night.
I watched
terrible
The
refs
camera
last
angle. The camera angle was the NFL All 22 angle.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah.
And you're watching from the damn moon, like you're watching
90%
soccer.
chance that was a complete flop. Like,
Russ couldn't even see the players on the screen. Golly, poor old man. I tell you.
Yeah, I can't see anything.
How do you, Nurse
Man.
Mary, how do you zoom in on this
I need
telestat?
my TV and I need my teeth.
How do you use this thing? Where's the remote?
It's good to have the crew back together, guys. It's good to have everybody back.
Nurse, Mary, help! I pooped.
Oh man.
You like I'm not good, bud.
My goodness.
Okay.
You
Anyway,
guys
we're
heard about
back.
Wisconsin or no?
what's that?
You
Nah,
guys
we'll
Wisconsin?
we'll just leave it two at a time. We can wrap up with talking about
Wait.
a little bit about this football dynasty thing.
Do we need
Yeah.
to do a quick shout out to all the sponsors real quick? We didn't.
Oh
do that.
shit,
Yeah, play the
we're-
sponsor.
yeah, we
Play
should
that bean
do it.
footage there,
Ooh,
Dylan.
hold on. Someone talk real quick for a minute.
Yeah,
Okay, hold on. Here we go. We're ready.
Royal Rumble is going to be in Indy.
Shut the hell up.
February 1st,
Okay,
2020.
listen.
Dylan, you're the one that said
Uh,
respect wrestling, and then we were all like actually wrestling this time.
Golly, man.
Okay.
Kent's
we'll-
like, I'm never fucking coming back.
No,
here."
I'm
like
coming back
Dr.
next week.
Okay, guy. Like Dr. Phil says, we'll be right back. Tell me, do you like to be fashionable? Do you like to look handsome or beautiful? Do you like being the best dressed Purdue fan you know? Well, guess what? We got just the place for you. It's called martinvintage.com. And if you go there, you will find the best in Purdue throwback designs on the market. I'm telling you, if you want it, they got it. Basketball, football, Purdue Pete logos, anything and everything. And if you go to martinvintage.com and use code BXB at checkout, they'll throw you 10% off your order. Now, that's a great deal if you ask me. Tell them that we sent you, and they'll say, hey, you have slightly above average taste in podcasts. Here's 10% because they're friends of the program, and we can't thank them enough. Again, martinvintage.com. Use code BXB at checkout for 10% off. Spoiler up.
Attention all college basketball enthusiasts. Are you tired of just watching the game and ready to dive deeper into the stats and strategies that make college basketball so thrilling? Introducing CBBAnalytics.com, your ultimate destination for college basketball analytics. With CBBAnalytics.com, you'll have access to the stats and insights that you need to take your love for the game to the next level. From shooting percentages to player efficiency ratings, CBBAnalytics.com has it all. Get detailed player profiles, in-depth team analysis, player and team shot charts, and even in-game trends available all at your fingertips. Do you want to know how well Purdue shoots above the break threes with 10 or fewer seconds left on the shot clock? CBB Analytics has you covered. You want to see how different lineups perform in different situations? CBBAnalytics.com has you covered. You can get a free tier subscription, which allows you to see stats for just one team. But if you truly want to elevate your game knowledge, be sure to check out the Pro Tier subscription, which allows access to all 362 Division I teams. One of our favorite features is the in-game streaming system, which displays real-time stats, analytics, and even shot charts during live games. If you're ready to expand your basketball knowledge, check out cbbanalytics.com today.
Nice.
Oh, I just fell asleep. I'm awake now. Okay. It was so soothing.
I sent that first one to Frank, and I miss Frank's voice. It was good to hear it from the heavens. And he was like, that sounds like a mall in the 80s. And then he chose his music. I need to redo mine. You can barely hear my terrible voice.
It's like in one ear and it's like whispering. You're like, okay. So like everybody cranked up to hear the ad, and then we came back and we just made him go
Hear
down.
that. You go to martinvintage.com and use code BX. You get 10% off your order because they're fans of slightly below average podcasts. And we thank you, Martin Vintage. I'm sorry that my video that I made for you sounds like hell, but we'll get it figured out. Again, code BXB at checkout for 10% off.
Yeah,
Also,
but I was
go
going
check out
deaf.
Cincy Blitzsports at Cincy Blitzsports, another sponsor. We don't have a video for them yet, but
Shoot, I need to add that to my list.
cool kind of game here. It's behind me. It's a little bit like cornhole, a little bit like Yahtzee, a little bit of everything there. So
Wait, what's it called? What's it called?
Blitzboard. It's called Blitz. Yeah, Cincy Blitzboards.
I'll have
played
their,
it yet?
Dylan, you
Oh
make
yeah,
a
they're
script, I'll read it.
huh?
You make a script, I'll read it.
Ooh, get
There you
that
go.
little
that.
Chris Sultry voice.
You've been looking for a new yard game to play? Do you like beating?
I want to know what this game
Big
is like. 'Cause I'm all
Banters?
about the yard games. I want to know what Blitzboards is like.
Yeah,
How
so
do
it's literally like, I mean, it's a combination of like Yahtzee, cornhole, tabletop football, cribbage. Like, yeah, it's really interesting. Like,
Is it
it's
Quidditch?
at Cincy Blitzboards on Twitter or on
Dude,
X.
where's my broom?
It's
Fly
basically
away.
it's just one singular board that's got a small hole on each end. Comes with 2 dice.
Okay.
Comes with pegs. You got to put pegs in there.
You got to peg
Say
it.
less. Say less. I'm in, bro. I'm in.
No,
Gotta put some pegs in
He's
the hole.
like,
I'm
"That's all."
in, dude. I'm sold. What? Send me the link.
Hawktua not included.
Dude, they can put any logo on there. So if you've got like a casual Big Ten logo, whatever, they'll put anything on there.
I'm gonna put Russ's face on there.
Oh no.
Hey,
All right. This is the after dark portion of the show.
this is a family program. Okay.
Oh, sorry, my bad, boys.
So before we talk about the game,
Uh,
Vinny had a good point.
let me
talking
go back
about
to the comments. Sorry, hold
Wait,
on.
are we talking about the game? I thought we weren't talking about the game.
the
Video-
EA
the
college football
Dynasty.
game, not Wisconsin.
No, the one before
Oh,
that.
okay.
Dylan, the one before that.
Oh, yeah, Vinny was the last 5-star. Yeah.
Jesus.
Talked about how good Walter's staff are beating the streets for recruits. These guys are outworking everybody, and that's 100% true. I can't. I think Selman Lyman was the last 5-star recruit back in like 2004.
Shoot.
And he actually, according to 24/7, he was only a 4-star. So I don't think that, according to 24/7, we've ever had one.
I think it depends on
The website
which
you look
service you look at. Because
Yeah, and Vinny was a 6-star, so
Yeah.
you know he doesn't count himself. He's he's a humble man.
right.
Yeah.
But no,
And the 5-star recruit that they brought in this year that was supposed to come in next year and they had him reclassify, or he reclassified to this year. That I was like, when he committed, I was like, it wasn't even a second thought to me. I was like, oh, this guy's probably going to get bought out by like Tennessee or some big SEC program. So like, it's cool that he's committed right now, but like, he's probably not going to put a uniform on. But he's putting a uniform on. Like, he's reclassified. He's probably going to start this year, if I had to guess. I mean, I don't know, just because the guy's 5 stars. I mean, it's translating to the college game, but you know, I'm sure hoping it is, and it's pretty exciting stuff.
Yeah, Vinny says Tim Olmstead in 2000.
Yeah, I think you're talking about Terry Grant, Damon. Yeah, he was 5-star at times, but we, Dylan and I went on to the OHIO pod and talked a little bit recruiting, and that's one thing we talked about was that with Walter's recruiting and his staff, there's nobody that we think we don't have a chance at. There's not, it's just because we see somebody that gets an offer from Ohio State or a Michigan or even an Alabama or Ole Miss, whoever, like, it doesn't mean we're out of it. Like, they're going to work it, and the rankings. Don't pay attention to the rankings now. Don't look at our class now, because that Terry Grant, the 5-star cornerback we just got, literally we got him in May. So don't look at next year's class. They're going to be beating the street. They're going to be getting guys late in the year, late next calendar, not just calendar year, but late next school year. They'll get guys committing they're going to contribute. So and
Tim Olmstead is awesome.
Yeah, we had a freshman last year at in defensive backfield that did pretty well for us. So if Terry Grant can do half that, yeah, that'll bolster our defense
Hey,
for sure.
Tim Olmstead, if you're listening, come on the pod. Vinny, do you know?
Yeah.
do you have
Tim
connection?
Olmstead.
He was a DEA agent, then he went to the FBI, and now he's a lead investigator for the Missing Persons Center.
Vinny, do you have
Damn, that's pretty cool.
have his people call our people? Lord Almighty, that'd be a nice
So-
little off-topic pod.
We might lose some people here if we haven't lost you already.
Yeah.
But there's this game coming out in I guess 2 weeks now, pretty much, or 2 weeks if you get the early release. It's like 2 weeks and 3 days if you're just getting it regular. But EA is bringing college football back, and one of the reasons that Kent and our relationship with Boiler Express has flourished is we started a challenge. I challenged him a few weeks back to play to see if he's going to get an Xbox or a PlayStation, and then if he gets an Xbox, if he'd be in our dynasty. So we are going to have a Boiler Express dynasty. We're going to try to get some guys from the college huddle in there as well. I think we've got one so far, but a lot of guys have talked about it. So that's something that I think a lot of the college football world is looking forward to. A lot of guys that are our age, from between 30 and like 45, that have missed this game, that grew up playing NCAA
Don't flatter
football
yourself.
more than Madden. We are very stoked about this. How excited are you guys about this game? There's been a lot of news that's come out. Like, what do you guys think?
I'm
hyped.
prepared to quit my job.
I'm on a Facebook page that there are guys talking about, I got my vacation proofs. I'm taking off from the 16th to the 21st. I'm off. Like,
Those damn twins screwed me out of my vacation time.
there's going to be, I want to
Way
see
to-
what the
way
bump
to
in
have
divorce
kids.
rate is that week amongst men between like the age of 30 and 40, because there'll be a lot of unhappy wives.
Already got that out of the way. We're good.
That's
Hey, that's not even how I meant it.
Kent, are you excited?
I am beyond excited. That's all I've been thinking about since the
Except for me.
calendar turned over to July.
Yeah.
It didn't feel real until yesterday.
Right.
And I was like, all right, this
We're
thing
almost
is
there.
really about to like I've seen it, like it's been so much hype, like all the trailers and everything. I'm like, it's so far away, but it's basically here now. I'm ready to go.
I'm good to turn
Um,
into that fat dude on South Park who's playing
Yeah.
WoW, where he's just like,
Yep.
Again, too late. I'm already there.
I'm ready to do it. I do want to know though, because I have actually never played in like a dynasty with anybody before. So what is even a dynasty? All I ever do online when I play games, any game I buy, if it's Call of Duty, if it's a sports game, whatever it is, I have never played a story mode. I have never played anything. All I do is online game. That's all
Have you
I
ever
do.
done
I
like a
play
season mode even?
matchups
Like,
online. That's all I do.
you ever done
So
any, like,
I don't know what this dynasty is.
so basically you're going to be running the program. So you'll play every single week. And so
Program.
obviously the first season will be set up how this 2024 season is set up in real life IRL. But then we'll progress through seasons however far we can, but you'll recruit, you'll game plan, you'll have to, create depth charts, you'll have to, play each game. And so the majority of your games won't be against us. Like, it depends on how many people actually join, but you'll play, like if whoever gets Purdue, because we're going to draw for Purdue on tonight's episode. But whoever gets Purdue is going to play Indiana State the first week. So they won't actually play anybody, which it'll actually be probably FCS North or something, because FCS teams are not in the game. But, if you like one of our guys gets Purdue, if somebody picks Michigan State, well, they're play this year. So when it gets to that week in the season, they'll have to get online and coordinate when they play. And you have to all play your game each week before you can advance to the next week. So, and then there'll be a bowl season, there'll be an off season, there'll be the college football playoff, all that stuff. So I don't know how realignment will work.
For the
or whatever.
actual matchups, that sounds kind of tough to like coordinate all that.
Oh, we can figure it out. We'll be good. We got it. Don't be backing out, Kent. Don't back out.
I'm not backing out. I'm saying I'm always available. So I'm talking about other people have like a life and stuff. I don't.
Usually, I mean, there's a lot of people online posting that they're going to advance the week every 2 days or every 72 hours or whatever. And this one, I'll be a more lenient commissioner for this one, but it's, we know we have lives. We know we got to coordinate stuff. So it'll be
Roger Goodell's ass out here.
it'll be pretty much, we'll try to get done as soon as possible and just within reason. And if it gets to the point where we have to sim a week, we'll sim a week. But yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be good.
Good time.
So
I have one further question though. When does it start?
I mean, once everybody can get in there. So I mean, I'm getting the pre-release because I can't wait the extra 3 days. I know it's been
Right.
Yeah.
I am
11
too.
years. Whatever.
Crack
Is it too late to get that, by the way? Because I haven't bought it yet.
Yes, I think you had to get it by like June 27th to get the pre-release.
Oh no!
Are you
way.
serious?
I am serious. I think I can check on that.
Oh,
sorry, I
dude,
thought
that's
this was
brutal. 'Cause You know
America.
what's crazy is on July 19th, I'm going on vacation, and that's the day the game actually comes out. I thought I could get it like up until the day before, as long as you bought it.
Tell Mrs. Casual Big Ten it's time to cancel the vacation. Jeez.
That's not going to happen.
He won't have to because he won't be able to get it. He won't be able to get it. Let's see. I'm going to look it up real quick. Somebody else talk for a second.
That's
Yeah,
brutal, dude. Like I thought.
On that
you could
note,
get
though,
it-
boys, I do got to bounce out of here. So it's good to be back. And Kent, great to meet you. And
Yeah, you too,
I'll see
man.
you guys next time.
Yeah.
All right. See you guys.
All right. Peace, Damon.
Love you. Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to kick it here soon too. So we gotta get this draw.
Okay. So
Draw.
somebody look up the pre-release date for Kent so he can know.
I'll do
whether
it. You guys do your drawing. I
Okay.
don't want
So
Purdue.
Nick is also, I don't know if you guys,
What?
Nick's our silent partner. He's in our group chat.
Producer Nick that really doesn't produce anything.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. He just is really critical and mostly an ass.
He's our biggest fan.
He is producer of what Biden is the presidency. But
Oh,
he, anyway,
all right.
And he froze.
Fan. Well,
Well,
speaking
Dylan,
of,
Damon and Chris that all
you
are-
make
were-
fun of Sleepy Joe, and then there you are,
Oh, hey, easy. What, am I froze again?
Sleepy Russ.
Not anymore.
Good night. This freaking connection, man.
This says you can pre-order it up until July 18th.
Yeah, which makes
Well, yeah, but
sense.
that's not you can pre-order it, but to get the early release.
It doesn't say a different. It doesn't
Look
say
up the
anything
deluxe
about
edition.
June.
Look up pre-order the deluxe edition.
That's what I'm looking at right now.
We could do this after the show. But
Yeah.
On the EA website, it just says worldwide launch is July 19th, 3-day early access July 16th, pre-order now through July 18th, EA Play early access trial July 16th.
Okay.
I think as long as you order it by the 16th, you'll get the
maybe
pre-release.
then I'm-
Yeah,
I'm
that's
wrong.
what I
All right,
was.
good. Let's get to
That
the
makes
draft.
no sense.
So
Yeah.
I got our little wheel here. It's got. I know you can't really see
Oh,
it.
it's rigged. I already know.
You have to
Yeah.
trust it. I'm blue. Dylan's red. Damon's green. Chris is orange. Nick's yellow. So
Come on, red.
I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna turn the volume up so we can spin it. So
If you
I'm
would have
gonna
told me
show
this
it to you all.
beforehand, I could have put it on the screen. But
By the way,
right?
Brazil and Colombia are tied right now, just in case anyone was wondering.
this is an America podcast.
We speak in freedom units.
son of a gun.
Who? Is it you? Get the hell out of here. This is rigged. I told you. I called it right before that it was going to be rigged. And it's
Okay.
rigged.
I'm just gonna spin it again. I don't want y'all to think I rigged this. So I won't take Purdue. I'll
Too
let
late.
It's
you
not
know.
rigged. I believe you, Russ.
No,
I
As a
don't.
neutral
You cheap
party,
and
bastard.
don't you dare.
Watch it
Oh,
be
there you go.
rigged.
It's Chris.
Oh,
Chris
it's still
Chris
rigged.
on the table.
Woo! I demand a recount.
So Chris can have our boilers. So we'll have to pick. We'll have to do a draft and actually pick our teams later. Kent, we're gonna
Oregon.
draw. You're gonna get drawn between Maryland and Northwestern, I think, and IU. That's your.
Oregon.
Since you have to be a Big
Oh,
Ten
give me
team.
Northwestern right now.
There you go. Maybe
If
they'll have.
If
the
I get a
new
choice,
building
give me
game.
Northwestern out of those three.
What's the
Wow.
first game y'all are playing? What's the first game y'all are playing on that?
Purdue against IU, and I'm going to wipe the floor with Indiana.
Purdue Notre Dame night game.
Ooh,
The first game I'm playing is whoever I play online, whoever they pick, and I will be Illinois because I'm playing a stream online, and I'm not getting off the stream until I get 10 online wins, and I'm going in alphabetical order of the Big Ten and switching each team every time. So it's going to be Illinois, Indiana.
I'm so mad there's no PC version of the game.
Well, then let's
Whoever's
just make
next.
your first game Illinois versus Purdue, and I'll be Purdue.
You're going to have to get it. I don't know what time I'm starting it yet. That's the only other thing.
Okay. Well, you gotta let me know.
Right.
I'm with Chris. I'm gonna do Purdue Notre Dame night game, just so I can wipe the floor with Notre Dame. I use just you know you're gonna wipe the floor with them, so
Yeah.
it is
Maybe
what it
I'll
is.
do Purdue against Ohio State, and then the final score be 49-20.
Dylan, who was your second team? So since you can't be Purdue, who's gonna be your
Oregon.
team? Nice.
Oregon, go Ducks.
Oregon. Okay.
Go
Kent,
Ducks.
are you going Northwestern, Kent? Is that what you're picking right now?
Well,
Do I get to
Northwestern-
choose from anyone, or is it really just those three?
I gotta go,
Well,
boys.
So,
Okay, see
All
you,
right,
Chris.
Chris. Love
See ya,
you.
fellas.
so you can pick
No one
essentially
says
from
love you
anyone,
back.
but if somebody from the college huddle representing that team like wants in on the podcast, they're going to get, or wants in on the dynasty, they're going to get preference. But right now it's pretty much us picking. I think there's a Kansas State guy in, and I think that's it as far as. So
Is
there's
that the
like
Cocaine Willie
podcast?
podcast? That's the best name in the
Yeah.
network.
Wait, so what teams are taken then?
So right now it's just Purdue and Kansas State.
Oh, okay. I'm being Michigan then for sure.
Oh.
Boo.
See, and you're
Defending
saying that on
national
this show.
champs, right? I got you.
I picked Oregon strictly for the different uniforms.
Is that solely the reason? Just because they're the champs? Is there any?
Yeah,
other reason
dude.
there?
That's the only reason I would pick. Why else would I pick them?
Huh,
I mean, you're not on
wonder
your
why.
podcast, so you can just go ahead and. I
I
mean,
wonder why.
you.
I would like to launch an investigation in the casual Big Ten and his court and his alliances.
I'm waiting. I'm holding off. If Cocaine Willie's the only Big 12 team, I'll probably pick a Big 12 team just to like have more than
Such
one
a good-
user in a
I wish
conference.
I wish we could rename our podcast to like Cocaine Rowdy.
Oh, that hey, Cocaine Bear, Cocaine Rowdy.
Rowdy, by the way, Ken, Rowdy was an inflatable mascot they had when I was a kid.
I
and
know
he
who
was like-
Rowdy is. I've seen it.
Yeah, well, we talked about it when we were
Oh,
going to
that's
do the
true.
certain operation that we're not going to talk
Whoa,
about.
Yeah,
Russ,
yeah.
I just got blinded by your dome. Jiminy Christmas.
Hey,
But,
why don't you make that person, whoever's picking Kansas State, pick a Big Ten team so that there'd be more matchups?
I mean, we might talk about it. We'll have to see. It'll pick up steam closer to, and we'll get more people.
How
in,
many
but-
guys you trying to get into it?
I mean, you can go up to 32, so you can literally get up to 32 people. But I know that the more people, the harder it is going to be to advance because it's going to be that many more people you got to coordinate when you're going to play the game. But
Yeah.
we're at, I mean, we're at 7 now, 7 or 8, which I think is a
is,
decent number.
is the OHIO pod in that? I don't think they're all.
No, I don't think any of them game.
That's true. Yeah, we talked to JR about it. And he said he hasn't played a video game since he got married.
Yeah, he said he used to, but yeah,
Nerd.
I'm about to play video games tonight.
there you go. Dylan, are we going to play?
Madden
Yeah,
tonight.
yeah.
How are we going to stream it?
I got my Twitch set up so they can at least watch the Twitch, and I have my camera. I don't know how Kent does it. Kent will have to teach us his ways.
How are they going to see the game though?
If you're not Twitch, it's going to be like it'll be just like the Kent broadcast, except for it only have my face, and you should hear you.
We could play, and then Kent be the commentator.
You guys want to try to set that up?
I could do that for you guys.
Ooh.
Okay. Well, we'll go ahead and sign off here. Check out our YouTube, Twitter.
Nailed it.
Tell them where they can find you, because you obviously stream a lot of our games as well. So
Where they can find me?
Yeah.
I'll be on Twitter talking recklessly about Boiler Burner whenever I feel like it. At Casual Big Ten. And I'll be streaming a lot. So my big thing right now that I'm trying to get done is I'm trying to nail. That sounded weird. I've had a couple drinks.
Family.
I'm trying to finish all the NFL teams before the college football game comes out, and I think I have like 18 more to go in the next 16 days. So I got to get like 2 wins a night. So I've been streaming that like every single day, and yeah,
you can set up more games.
Twitter, YouTube. If you want to go check me out on YouTube, that'd be
and
helpful.
then if you go to Casual Big Ten's YouTube right after this, you'll see me and Russ and him again. So I mean, it's win-win situation.
I'm trying to think. I think I'm 90% sure I can set it up. I'm pretty sure I can.
All right. Well, so don't leave once we go off the air here, guys. We got to figure this out. So
Okay.
yeah, check out our Twitters. This one might not be on Twitch. I know Nick Burris said Twitch you're gonna watch, so we're gonna try and figure this out. So you have to give us.
I'm just more surprised. I mean, I just want to say we've been rambling and we're still at 109 viewers. So shout out to you.
Good night.
That
can't be right. That's some mail-in votes or something.
Some mail-in viewers. Shout out to everyone. You can follow us on Twitter, which are majority where our listeners come from live. It's funny, we get like 5 live viewers on YouTube and we get like 150 million on Twitter. So or X or whatever you want to call it. So you can follow us at Boiler Express _. Follow me at Dylan Kuhn _ Russ is BXP _ Russ.
Yes, sir.
Did I get that right?
Good job. Good
Hell
job.
yeah.
You did it.
I'm learning. And then at Casual Big Ten, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. All right. Well,
thanks for having me, guys. Thanks for having me.
Hey,
Yes,
you're welcome on literally anytime. I'm the one that has the power to end it, so I can keep this thing going really if I want.
Yeah, and you got to hit button twice. So just remember that. So
that's good.
And you can't just leave like JR. So boiler up, y'all. Appreciate you joining us.
Love you guys. Boiler up, hammer down. Bring back Rowdy.